welcome to Davo the Dalek, episode 14. In this episode, I'm building the Dalek gun. Normally when I'm putting out episodes, I'm splitting up the building stuff into multiple parts because it's so much work to build it out. But I'm pleased to say I'm putting it all in one episode, and I'm completing a piece in one episode, the Dalek gun, start to end, in this one episode. So over the last 60 years, the Dalek gun has been known as gun stick, gun rod, blast gun, exterminator, and ray gun. I wonder how quickly that's going to get old. Okay, so I am working on the eye here. This is the eye. Not that. Fuck, really? No, I'm not working on the eye at all. I'm working on the gun. So this is my main gun stem. It is 25mm tube, and this is the the gun ball joint, which goes into the shoulders. And I sort of covered this in the episode called Repurpose, because I'm repurposing what is a soap dispenser, which has a stainless steel ball. I'm using that for the eye. I keep talking eye. The gun socket ball. So I need to join that into here. Now my problem is, you probably might see that already, it's a 25mm pipe, but the diameter of the threaded part on here, it's like 27 total, so I might have a gap. I've basically got to drill that out and see how we go with that. Yeah, not quite sure what to do just yet, but I guess I'll work something out. And I'm going to drill the back end of it first, just to experiment with the process, I guess, of drilling the thing out. I've got a step drill here, which I'm going to use to drill it. The main problem here is to hold this still in the drill press. So my regular drill vise is not going to do the job. It's not going to hold it. So I've devised a plan. Well, I need to sit it that way and then accommodate that whole that threaded part. So I'm going to sit it in here, and I've also got to hold it still. So I've got a piece of it's non-slip matting, which I'm going to wrap around it so it can be gripped. I'll probably use a clamp of some sort around it. Yeah, I can sit that in there so it's really quite solid and firm. The step drill is just not working as well as I'd hoped. It's getting a bit jammed as it gets deeper in. Pain in the ass to use as well, so don't have enough throw on the drill press for it. Plus, it only goes to 24 anyway, so I'm going to have to finish it by hand to take it to 25mm. And I've gone a bit off centre, so now's a good time to stop. It's not quite 24, so I can even that hole up with the Dremel, I guess. It's the next best thing. So I'll also say I've got no hope of drilling that out, and I'll cut that off with the Dremel as well. I finished off the hole with the Dremel, and it gave me an opportunity to recenter it, so it worked out alright in the end. I made a temporary cradle of my drill vise to help support the ball as I cut off the threaded section. I was worried that the hole might be too big after cutting off the threaded section, but I did a dimension check here and it's fine, it's going to work. This hole is so deliciously tight, I could not have done it any better. So I bought these rods online. This rule is too short for this, but it's actually 334 is the length of these rods, which I bought sort of cut to size, but they came off eBay. It was just a bit of luck because they're exactly the right size for the gun rods, and I don't need to do any cutting, but that does mean I got to make sure I got the bends exactly correct. So 334 minus 280 for the straight part of the rod. It gives me 27 each end. I've made little marks here on the rods. I don't know if you can see that, but that's where I've got to make the center of the bends. So that's the next step. I'm trying not to overcomplicate the bending. I've got 16 bends to make, so it doesn't justify by buying a wire bending jig. It doesn't really justify making one. I think I've got a process, third time lucky. I've only got 8 of these things to do, so I'm feeling like I'll have this process sorted by the time we finish. So I'm marking the center points of the bends, and then you're a fucking coon. Yeah, lots of background noise. So I'm marking here the center points of the bends, remembering that these rods are exactly the right size so that I can't cut them later. Alright, so what I'm doing, this is my 10mm bar, stainless steel bar. This mark will be on the halfway point, right? So I'm beating this wire around 90. I want that mark to wrap around to be at the halfway point around this 10mm rod. So about there, I believe, will give me the right radius with the right bend. Yeah, I'm going to use the hammer to bring it around. There we go. So that's pretty much right on the apex of the bend there, that mark. And that's exactly what I want. And once I've got that, I can pretty roughly bend it round by hand to get the 90-degree bend on it without damaging the wire. There we go. That's close enough. Sorted out from there. Well, that's the wires sorted, or so I thought. Somewhere I made a measurement error. I actually had to take 10mm off each end of the wire. Here I'm just using some medium grade wet and dry sandpaper to clean up the cut ends of the tube. I normally record what I'm doing using a headset so I can give a running commentary as I'm doing it. I didn't want to wear a headset here because I wanted to be ready to move fast and unimpeded if necessary. And I also figured there was a high chance I'd drag the cord through the glue. I'm using JB Weld to glue the gun assembly together, and I'm preparing enough glue here to glue the rings and wires at the same time. JB Weld's claimed to be one of the strongest epoxy glues in the world, and the bonus is that it's grey and blends in with the metal. I won't be painting the gun. I want to leave it the natural silver of the metals, but this also means that I can't cover anything up with filler or paint, so I have to do a neat job. I'm using bamboo skewers for this job. I find them handy for all sorts of jobs. My approach here is to roll the glue around the tube in a line where the rings will sit, and then slide the rings back into the position. I have a few pins at the ready to center the ring on the tube so the gap is even all the way around. Then I glue the wires in one by poking glue into the holes. So once the glue on the wires is dry and set, it's time to glue the ball into place. I'm just using the same method again, running a line of glue around the tube where the ball will sit and sliding the ball up into position. Then I just simply fill the back of the ball with glue. So here we have it, the Dalek gun completed in one episode. I might add some sort of effect to it later, but yeah, I'm going to consider that done for now. There we are, finished. This is my journey, to live the dream. Come along with me on my build journey down the wormhole.